Happy people are healthy people, or is it the other way around? Healthy people are happy people. It's really the same thing, isn't it? Well, one thing we can agree on for sure is the healing wonders of our diverse tourism product. Jamaica's tourism product guarantees a curative experience and sees to it that well-being and happiness is shared across the 7 seas. I'm Adrian Atkinson, and this is your Jamaica magazine for Wednesday, November 15. In today's show, tourism and health, and a young man who knows the way to the heart. Stay with us.
Security guards, protect your health. Sign up for the Private Security Regulation Authority's health insurance scheme. There are 5 options starting from $997 up to $1,882 per month for individual coverage. To find out how to access the health insurance scheme, contact the Private Security Regulation Authority at 967-2522 or visit their website at psra.gov.jm.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, November 15. The House of Representatives has passed a bill to close the Road Maintenance Fund and move its assets and liabilities to the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Prime Minister Andrew Holness piloted the Road Maintenance Fund Repeal Act 2017 in Parliament Tuesday. He said the legislation formed part of government's thrust to rationalize public bodies, increase efficiency, cut costs, and meet its debt-to-GDP target.
Currently, the salaries and related cost is approximately $51 million, and it is expected to be substantially reduced since the human resource management, information technology, administrative functions, and some of the technical functions will be subsumed into the existing Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The government will save direct costs related to the operations of the RMF in the approximate sum of $35 million per year based on the transfer of the functions to the ministry.
The Road Maintenance Fund is one of 5 public sector entities to be closed by the end of March 2018. The special consumption tax collected by the fund from the licensing fee for motor vehicles will now be transferred to the consolidated fund. Since the start of the year, the Road Maintenance Fund has spent $400 million on road patching, $400 million on road rehabilitation, $100 million on traffic lights, and $300 million on drain maintenance. Meanwhile, the National Works Agency, NWA, has been directed to consult members of Parliament when carrying out road maintenance and repair works in their constituencies. Prime Minister Andrew Holness gave the mandate, saying it would streamline the execution of roadworks and align the NWA's schedule with the priorities of the members of Parliament.
Once we have the professionals tell us that the weather system has lifted, immediately after that, then we will start the patching and the repairs. And we will do so with all MPs participating in the decision as to the roads that need to be done.
Mr. Holness has also asked the NWA to fast-track its assessment of roads affected by recent rains across the island. Already, government has secured funds from the supplementary budget to address roads in need of urgent repair. Prime Minister Holness said the allocations for the repairs were increased and the Minister of Finance would be tabling the figure at next week's sitting of Parliament. A 45-day extension has been approved by the House of Representatives for the traffic ticket amnesty. It will run from November 27 to January 13 next year to allow more time for motorists to pay their traffic fines. National Security Minister Robert Montego says once the extension has expired, motorists who did not use the amnesty will be pursued.
In addition to that, a large portion of the funds collected will be invested in the traffic department of the Jamaica Constabulary Force with additional vehicles, bikes, equipment, and improvement of the traffic offices island-wide, including the Accident and Reconstruction Unit.
$590 million was collected under the previous traffic ticket amnesty, which ran for 90 days from August 2 to October 30. Plans are underway to have the National Police College of Jamaica (NPCJ) and its courses accredited by the University Council of Jamaica (UCJ). National Security Minister Robert Montego says former Chief Technical Director in the ministry, Karen Clark Davis, who has been reassigned to the NPCJ, will be leading the accreditation discussions with the UCJ.
So that when you complete courses at the National Police College, you will get tertiary credits, and then over time you can achieve your degrees right here from within the training branch of the constabulary force.
Minister Montego says plans are also in place to continue improving the working conditions of members in the police force. He says the government has scheduled routine maintenance work at 161 police stations across the island. 30 police stations will also be receiving major work.
We are moving to look about the welfare of the serving men and women. Because if you do not care for the welfare of the officers cannot perform at their ultimate and maximum.
The security minister was speaking at a recent passing out parade and award ceremony for 135 former district constables who have transitioned into the JCF. And finally, government has begun a public education campaign to facilitate the smooth implementation of the National Identification System, NIDS. The National Identification and Registration Act was passed in the Senate on Monday with 168 amendments. It now returns to the House of Representatives for final review. At a press conference Tuesday, Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Robert Morgan, said the public education campaign started at 1 p.m. on Monday and involved radio, television, and social media platforms.
There are going to be a series of community meetings all over the country. The first one begins next Thursday at Emancipation Park. There will also be engagement with the media, where the NIDS team and other persons who are connected will be available to all media houses, all interest groups, all stakeholder groups to answer whatever questions they wish to ask. And there will also be a framework created to update the nation consistently on the steps that are being taken in the implementation of the program.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
Jamaica's a tourism destination. White sandy shores, soul-stirring reggae. The people, oh, the food, the vibe. Yes, 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 I know you know. But allow me to let you in on something more, something different.
What we are looking at is a framework that will establish Jamaica as a medical tourism destination, including how do we work with a JTB to ensure that Jamaica starts being marketed as a medical tourism destination.
The opportunity we see is in a range of different treatments: surgical treatment, medical diagnostics, dentistry. That is actually already happening. I'm sure the dentists among you will already be seeing patients from the diaspora who come down here, and while they're visiting friends and family, decide to have dental treatment. And that is certainly one of the low-hanging fruit.
Big abroad in sports, music, food. And the newest kid on the block that has the world looking to jam down is medical tourism.
Essentially moving people, and typically it's from more developed countries to less developed countries, to access healthcare at an affordable cost, but still high in quality.
Which is really about people actively traveling to another country to seek medical help or medical treatments. Now, it's not so much about people coming here and while they're here having a treatment. It's really about the whole structure of a travel industry that is set up to promote people traveling overseas. So if you want to have a hip replacement, you actually go to a travel agent in the US, usually, or in the UK or Canada, wherever, and you say, where can I have my hip replacement done? And they'll give you a list of 5 or 6 countries and say, okay, this is what it costs in these countries. So there's a whole superstructure that's set up to promote this.
The government has implemented a number of policies to spur growth in this sector. The National Steering Committee on Health and Wellness Tourism, with its secretariat based at JAMPRO, looks at accreditation, regulation, and a marketing framework for the sector. The National Standard for Spas was developed in conjunction with the Bureau of Standards Jamaica. There's a national quality infrastructure, and the Fiscal Incentives Act, a new fiscal framework introduced in 2014, provides for reduced customs and stamp duties and corporate income tax rates, as well as a list of items that can be brought into the island duty-free. These incentives are available to both recovery hotels and medical and wellness facilities. Global investors have seen the potential for medical tourism in Jamaica. International brand Hospitan built a $2.3 billion state-of-the-art facility in Montego Bay, St. James. Additionally, it's quite the norm to hear of medical missions happening in different parts of the island. The country has been ranked second on the list of most attractive countries for medical tourism based on a 2014 index.
So why Jamaica? We already have an international global presence as a tourism destination. We do have a skilled workforce, excellent doctors, excellent dentists, excellent nurses. Our labor costs here are lower, significantly lower. The proximity to the United States cannot be ignored, and that's a given. Of course, we have our natural resources. So when we talk about wellness tourism, our beaches, our spas that can be developed, advantages, of course, for a place like Jamaica to get engaged in health tourism, definitely good for the workforce, and of course, the foreign exchange.
The government will continue to promote and facilitate investment in the very lucrative medical tourism sector. Therefore, health professionals and tourism stakeholders form coalitions to help develop Jamaica as a medical tourism destination. For more on Jamaica's growing medical tourism industry, contact JAMPRO. They're based on Trafalgar Road in New Kingston. Call them at 978-7755 or 978-3337.
Jamaica's tourism industry began in the late 19th century. Back then, tourism was exclusive to the rich, the old, and the few. Initially, all visit arrivals did not exceed a few thousand, but improvements in transportation led to continuous growth. Since the 1987-1988 season, the number of visitors has exceeded 1 million per year. Jamaica's tourism product continues to grow immensely with new offerings, the most recent being gastronomy with Devon House and the Blue Mountains being two of the very first designates in this category. The upward trend to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business continues.
There's a long-distance relay that's still on. Many have taken it this far, each leg as important as the next, each challenge faced with determination. Now it's your turn to take the baton. People living with HIV and AIDS and those who are vulnerable need your commitment. It stands in the way of a better quality of life for all of us and our self-respect as a region. It stands in the way of victory in the fight to stop the spread of HIV. Reject stigma and discrimination. Get us to zero.
An AIDS-free world by the year 2030. It's a vision that Jamaica shares with the world through the leadership of the United Nations.
The goal that was set by the UN and accepted by the global community is not out of reach, my friends. but it will take unprecedented levels of collaboration. All hands on deck. Government, communities, and the private sector. We will all have to band together to support this extraordinary push to end our epidemic at home.
The Jamaican government has long recognized stigma and discrimination to be a major barrier to HIV/AIDS prevention and treatment, as well as the care and support of people living with the disease. So the state has been working to address this and similar challenges such as gender inequality and gender-based violence by promoting greater equity, inclusivity, and human rights for all. Development of a workplace HIV policy, for example, sets out terms and conditions designed to ensure that every person living with AIDS is respected while trying to put a cap on transmission. An important component of the work is the building of leadership capacity at the community, district, and national levels. Increased awareness of the issues through continuous sensitization programs and improvements to the healthcare system is giving people with HIV/AIDS a new lease on life.
35 years ago, the world saw the first cases of what would grow to become the HIV/AIDS pandemic. In the 1980s, diagnosis equaled a death sentence. Today, people that are diagnosed with HIV/AIDS are able to live longer and, more importantly, to access necessary medicines and treatment.
In moving from a standalone HIV response, government has created a new integrated national HIV/STI sexual health policy and strategic plan. Service delivery has been integrated through the creation of the National Family Planning Board's Sexual Health Agency. That agency serves the needs of Jamaicans in a more comprehensive and efficient way, providing guidance, leadership, advocacy, and the implementation of quality, equitable sexual health education and services. It has the role of building social cohesion among people living with HIV and key population leaders, and enhancing the coordination of policies and programs across sectors. While the Caribbean region has the second highest HIV prevalence in the world, with Jamaica the highest prevalence among English-speaking Caribbean nations, the country has been making progress. The Ministry of Health's data reports an estimated 1.8% of adults ages 15 to 49 are living with HIV. This amounts to an estimated 32,000. Introduction of antiretroviral ARV drugs in Jamaica has resulted in HIV-positive persons receiving treatment and proper care, which allows them to live as long as someone without the virus. Deaths related to the disease have decreased by 43%, with treatment reaching that same percentage of persons infected with the disease. It is believed that if the country is able to treat all persons who are HIV infected, it could reduce the prevalence rate to almost zero by 2030.
From 2000 till now, you've halved the number of new infections, and also from the same year, you have come from 10% transmission of mother to child to 2%, which is almost getting there.
Once persons are treated and their viral load is undetectable, they are considered 90% less likely to transmit HIV compared to someone who is not treated.
If you are on therapy, you are protecting a partner by 96%. Even, higher than or closer to what a vaccine would do. So starting people on therapy is paramount. Starting people on therapy will help us prevent new infections.
A 2020 timeline has been adopted at the United Nations in a fast-track approach, which proposes to achieve some targets towards eliminating HIV/AIDS as a public health threat. Prevention, treatment, and stigma and discrimination are to be the areas of focus.
For the treatment component, we have inviting countries to achieve what we call the 90-90-90. That is identifying 90% of the infections, providing therapy for 90% of those who have been identified, and keeping with viral detection at 0 to the last 90%.
Abstinence and safe sex among young people are being promoted through sexual education. Sex education not only helps to prevent HIV and other sexually transmitted infections, but also supports other development matters, such as the prevention of teenage pregnancy.
In our work to put youth and adolescents at the heart of the HIV response, it is critical to recognize that the efforts, especially those channeled towards education, awareness, and personal responsibility, will ultimately translate to the development of individuals who are better equipped to make good decisions and positively contribute to their families, communities, and nation building.
Getting to 0 is everybody's business, a target we can reach by addressing the clinical, cultural, and behavioral attributes that fuel the prevalence of HIV and AIDS.
Cervical cancer, caused by the human papillomavirus HPV, is a major public health concern in Jamaica. Almost 50% of the women diagnosed each year die from this preventable disease. To prevent cervical cancer and save lives, the Ministry of Health is providing the bivalent HPV vaccine to girls ages 9 to 14 years free of cost. Parents, give your girls a fighting chance against this deadly disease. The bivalent HPV vaccine is safe and provides 90 to 100% protection against HPV type 16 and 18, which are responsible for most HPV-caused cancers. Call the Ministry of Health's toll-free line 1-888-1-LOVE or 1-888-663-5683 for more information, or email us at hpvinfo@moh.gov.jm. You can also find further information on the website moh.gov.jm, as well as the Ministry of Health's social media channels.
An Irish proverb says, laughter is brightest where food is best. Garfield Seavright, the young man behind the apron, has seen and heard some of the most vibrant echoes of laughter in pursuit of his passion. Watch this for more.
Well, I consider myself as a typical youth.
Friends, sports.
Golfing, well, not so typical, but I enjoy the sport.
Average social life and vision for the future.
I want to go straight down in depth of the culinary, which is, I'm going to do level 4, which is the executive chef level. So I'll be going straight up to the top. I'm Chef Garfield Jr. from Hard Trust NTA, Boys Town to be exact. After high school, I met a close friend, which of my sister, Alex White. I don't know that Alex the Great. He started bringing me on events because I told him that I'm interested in food, and he was at a higher level, a way higher level. So while traveling with him around places, I learned a lot. He was a great mentor. Today I'll be cooking octopus wrapped in spring roll. So we're starting with the onions. We'll put this in the bowl. So here we have the octopus. Freeze a day before. It's kind of tender because I bought it tender. So we're just going to blanch it in the water. Going to do this 4 times.
The Hard Trust NTA was established in 1982 to satisfy the demand for solutions to the persistent problem of underdevelopment in the country. Fast forward to 2017, where the institution has maintained that mandate and has been shaping the lives of many youth through technical and vocational training.
Garfield came here, he joined the food prep level 3, which is a chef de partie, actually being prepared as a supervisor. I walked in the lab one day and here was this young man at work. What I saw him was doing, they usually are not that exposed already. You know, I saw this young man creating this, and I said, why are you? You're not a level 3. And he said, yes, I'm a level 3. Having Garfield here at Boys Town was a plus. We have had many before him, but Garfield has come and he has put his mark.
Boys Town is more into the practical, Heart is more into practical, and it has given me a drive, open opportunity because
he was selected to represent Jamaica in the first International TVET Youth Forum during World Skills Abu Dhabi 2017 on October 14 and 15. This event was the first of its kind and a unique opportunity for young professionals to shape the future of skills.
And that is an opportunity based from Taste of Jamaica.
Organized annually by the Culinary Federation of Jamaica, CFJ. It features cook-offs in more than 18 categories. Taste of Jamaica is geared towards promoting and showcasing the country's most talented through a mix of competition. Garfield entered in the category CPJ Beef Competition, where he walked away with silver in the 2016 staging of the event.
It was really a big move because I was competing against the sous chef of Sandals, and a sous chef of Sandals for a level 3 person and you're probably level 5 or 4. So it was a big move.
You rarely find young people with the passion and also the drive to endure and to keep on going. I think his advantage is that he smiles at obstacles. He's always moving on, pressing forward, and you know, just getting the job done.
For youths now, if you have a good opportunity, take it, but think about it. Definitely think about it. Secondly, if you want to pursue food and nutrition, definitely come to either Boys Town Hearters NTA or Runaway Bay Heart.
Now let us see him finish up the octopus spring roll.
Get that caramelized. This is Chinese favorite wrap, made of flour, rolled really thin. Gonna have some cheese in there. One strips like this. This is okay. So we're going to layer them like this. Get this in here. Over. There you go. Inside. Second.
To get more information on this program and others offered by Heart Trust NTA, you can visit their website at heart-nta.org.
Okay, and there you have it. Octopus spring roll with salsa and olive oil.
Be on the ball with your health. The Jamaica Information Service is a museum of resources that will help you out. Visit our website, jis.gov.jm. Follow and like our JIS social media pages and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also download the app from the Google and Apple Play stores. All you need to know, in a click, tap, and a swipe, or even a voice command. I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you that you are priority. Have a happy and healthy Wednesday.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.